So today I have a terrifying story of a horrible tragedy that took place yesterday in my life. I'm being completely facetious right now. There are so many bad things going on in the world that I don't want it to be unclear uh, that I'm talking about something that's really not a big deal. It's funny how I have to justify artifice like that, but anyway, well, our company does a lot of film advisory work. The head of our company's film advisory practice he's also uh, director for the Middle East practice at our company, and he is basically one of the main reasons why the new Mission Impossible was filmed, like parts of it, a big chunk of it was filmed in Dubai at the Burj Hotel, because he'd worked with Paramount Pictures before, and they came to him to ask his opinion, like, get his feedback. We want to make this movie, and we're trying to figure out, like, a cool uh, new location to film it. Where do you think, do you have any ideas? And he said, well, incidentally, his contacts in Dubai had just sent him pictures of the newly opened Verge Hotel, which had opened about 3 weeks beforehand. So he was like, oh, well, how about we pursue this? And so he worked with, like, the prince and everything. Anyway, this is all just background. He worked with it, and so we had a free screening yesterday at AMC. We got a whole bunch of really cool swag items, and the movie starts at 5 and it's 2 hours long, so I figured I'd be done by 7. So I made plans with my friend for dinner at this really great place in Courthouse, like a metro stop somewhere about 30-40 minutes away, at 7:30. But I hadn't counted on previews, so by the time I looked at my phone to see, what time it was like 7:08, and we weren't anywhere near the climax of the movie or anything. So, I tried to see if I could reschedule, but my friend was really disappointed, and so was I, because I hadn't seen her in a while, and I was really disappointed. I felt like I would be really disappointed if I didn't get to see her that night. So I was like, okay, it's just a movie. I'll watch it when it comes out on DVD or something. So I walked out, and now that it's been set that I am gonna end up meeting with her, as close to 7:30 as possible. I mean, I was panicking. Not panicking, but just like, I hate being late, and I will go above and beyond rational action to try and not end up being late. So I, like, ran out of the theaters, ran up to the street where all the buses are, grabbed a bus, went across the bridge to where the metro station was, and I just, like, dead sprinted to the bottommost platform, and it's a ridiculous length of distance to be sprinting, but I sprinted it, and I was like thinking to myself, haha, look at me, I'm all Mission Impossibly. It's like a action movie of my own. Yeah, Tom Cruise, whatever. Look at me, I'm so cool. But not seriously. It was just, because I was running like crazy with a sense of urgency. So I do that, but I just missed the train. And so I have to wait 6 minutes for the next train. And maybe if I'd made the first train, this tragedy would, I wouldn't be telling the story. But I missed the train, so I had to take the one 6 minutes later. And, by that time, I'm already late, so I'm even more panicky. And I have my iPhone, and I'm trying to figure out which of the three exits I would have to take out the metro to get to this place. And once I get out of the exit, which direction I'd have to start walking. And I don't want to miss a single second, so I'm doing that, like, stupid dopey, like, you know what this is, the infinity, the stupid infinity motion that you have to do to calibrate your iPhone's GPS. So I don't even care at this point that I look like a doofus doing this, because usually I'm, like, really annoyed, and I'm, like, trying to do it as, like, surreptitiously as possible, but, like, no, I need to not be late. So I'm doing this all the way out of the metro, and I'm tunnel visioning on my iPhone so hard that I completely miss the 2 steps down that I had to take. And at this point, I'm moving so fast that I don't just onto the ground like I would have normally if I just take a misstep, but I like propel forward and I roll. I literally rolled on the ground because I was moving so fast. I just like, whew, and my earbuds popped out. Like I had a really, whenever I find myself in those situations where I'm like falling and my brain's like, fuck it, I don't know. Like I did not anticipate that I would be in this mode. I don't know what to tell you, limbs. I don't just autopilot yourself or something. I have a really honest and philosophical moment where I'm just like, I really am alive. Like I had no anticipation that this would happen. When you take a step, you know you're going to be taking that step. But in this case, I fell and I rolled, and it all happened. It seemed like slow motion, but it happened in front of a lot of people. One of which was like, oh, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm fine." I got up and walked away. Uh, so yeah, took it a little far with the Mission Impossible fantasy. Not on purpose, obviously. Didn't choose to fall or roll, but roll was cool. I want to believe that the roll was cool. I want to believe that the roll was cool. But I wasn't hurt. I had no bruises except my ego. No bruises, no cuts, nothing. I wasn't hurt because I rolled. Um, Made it to the restaurant and had a good time. Had a nice heart to heart with my friend and had good beer and good food and everything. Came home, slept, had weird dreams because I'm marathoning a lot of sci-fi shows these days. Uh, Woke up, went to work, was tired, came back home, and so you're probably wondering, well, is that it? I mean, you didn't even get hurt, and it's a little embarrassing. But what's the tragedy here? What's the great loss? In order to have a tragedy, there has to be a loss. Well, I was pretty tipsy last night and kind of hungover this morning, so I didn't notice. But when I came home today and took off my boots and put them away, I realized uh, the right heel is like scratched to hell. Like a big chunk of it is just gone. And right above that, like another little piece is like peeling off. And I just bought these boots, and I made such a big deal about buying good boots and keeping them around forever. And I was so happy with the boots and the purchase, and I've been wearing them almost literally every day since I bought them. And, you know, so that's my terrifying story of horrible tragedy. Um, yeah, to put this into perspective, I wrote my boyfriend this story over email as kind of like a purposefully absurd contrast to the suicide bombing at the airfield he is at, which is horrible, but yeah, so this is going in a really inappropriate direction, so I'm gonna stop there. But that's my story, and it was a cool role. That's I'm gonna leave you with that.